She thought her EX was gone forever until his warning letter arrived. Some people disappear because they're running. Some vanish because they're guilty. But Elena Hart discovered the most terrifying truth of all. The man she betrayed 10 years ago didn't disappear because of her. He disappeared because someone else wanted her gone. The storm outside Elena's townhouse grew louder with every passing minute. Thunder rolled across the sky like something heavy being dragged through the clouds. The kitchen light flickered as rain streaked down the windows, turning her reflection into a ghostly blur. She sat alone at her table, fingers trembling over a pile of photographs she once swore she'd never look at again. Photos of happier times. Photos of him. Owen Reed. Or at least the man she had believed was Owen Reed. The two of them smiling under fireworks, kissing on a crowded subway platform, lying side by side, tangled in sheets, unaware of how fragile love truly was. For years, Elena had tucked those memories in a shoebox and shoved it deep inside her closet. She told herself she had no right to look back after what she did. But tonight, guilt dragged the shoebox back into the open. Then something happened that made her blood run cold. A piece of paper slid under her front door, handwritten, unstamped, just 4 words: "Stop looking for me." Below it, a single date tomorrow. Her heart collapsed into a knot. She hadn't searched for him in a decade. So how did he know she'd started again? The truth was simple and ugly. She'd never truly moved on. Not from the betrayal, not from the night he walked out. Not from the look in his eyes, the hurt, the disbelief, the hollow pain she caused with her own hands. The affair had destroyed him. Or so she thought. When he vanished, she spent months searching, then years blaming herself. Therapy helped her understand why she sabotaged the only real love she'd ever had. But understanding didn't erase the guilt. It just made it heavier. And now, 10 years later, a message in his handwriting appeared like a ghost from the past. If Owen was alive, why had he stayed hidden? Why warn her? And how long had he been watching? Whether she wanted to or not, Elena needed answers. She needed the truth. She needed to face the past she'd been running from. And to do that, she needed help. The next morning, she drove across town through lingering fog and stopped in front of a narrow brick building squeezed between a pawn shop and a tax office. A faded sign above the door read, "Miles Turner Private Investigations." Inside, the air was warm but stale, filled with the scent of old paper and strong coffee. Filing cabinets lined every wall. A desk lamp illuminated stacks of folders. Miles Turner was in his 50s, broad-shouldered, with a trimmed beard dusted with gray. He studied the letter without speaking, running his thumb across the edge like he was feeling for hidden clues. "This was delivered by hand," he finally said. "Not mailed. Door-to-door delivery. Someone walked up to your door." Elena swallowed hard. "It's his handwriting. I'd recognize it anywhere." Miles leaned back in his chair, folding his hands. "Tell me everything, Elena. Not just what happened 10 years ago. Tell me why you suddenly want to find him now." She hesitated. Then the floodgates opened. The cheating, the lies, the guilt that ate her alive. The part of her that wished she'd been strong enough to resist temptation. The way she found herself comparing every relationship to the one she ruined. Miles listened quietly, eyes unreadable. Finally, he said, "Most people hire me to find someone who owes them money or someone they want to sue. You're hiring me for closure." "Yes." Her voice began to shake. "I need him to know I'm sorry, even if he hates me." Miles took a deep breath. "I'll see what I can find. But be prepared. Sometimes the truth hurts more than the lie." 5 long days passed. Days where every sound made Elena jump, where sleep came in short, restless bursts, where guilt gnawed at her in ways she hadn't felt since her 20s. On the 6th day, Miles called. "Come to the office, now." When she arrived, he shut the blinds and locked the door. "Elena, the name Owen Reed is fake." She frowned. "Fake how?" Miles slid a document across the desk. No birth certificate, no school records, no driver's license, no tax filings, nothing. Owen Reed is a ghost. She stared at him. That's impossible. No, Miles said. This is impossible. He placed a photograph in front of her. It was him, older, sterner. A thin scar cut across his jaw. But the eyes, those familiar brown eyes, were undeniably his. Beneath the photo, Caleb Archer, Federal Bureau of Special Intelligence Status. Classified. Elena's knees nearly buckled. You're telling me he worked for some secret government agency? Miles nodded. Very likely undercover. And he lied to me about who he was? That's what deep cover is, Elena. But the story gets messier. He opened a second file. This agency watched anyone connected to him, including you. Her breath caught. Watched me? Everywhere you went. For months. Miles looked pale. And your name appears in a list titled Potential Leverage. Elena felt her throat close. What does that mean? Miles didn't answer, but he didn't need to. Something dangerous had been circling her life long before she made her biggest mistake. That night, Elena double-checked her locks. Twice. 3 times. At 11:42 p.m., her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but her trembling thumb slid across the screen. Elena, her breath halted. It was him. The voice she'd once fallen asleep to. The voice she'd cried over for years. Owen? A tense silence. My name was never Owen. Tears burned in her eyes. Why did you leave? She whispered. Why didn't you tell me who you really were? Another silence. Longer this time. He seemed to be choosing each word carefully. I told you to stop looking. Why? She choked. Why does it matter after 10 years? Elena? His voice cracked for the first time. You think I left because of the affair? Because you broke me? Yes, she whispered. Because I hurt you? No. His tone hardened. I left to keep you alive. The line went dead. She dropped the phone. Her heart hammered so loud it drowned out the storm. Alive? From what? From the people watching her? From the agency he worked for? From himself? Nothing made sense. But everything suddenly felt much, much worse. 2 days later, Elena returned home and froze in her doorway. Her apartment was a disaster. Cabinets open, drawers spilled onto the floor, clothes tossed everywhere. But nothing was stolen, except the photos. Every picture of her and Owen Caleb was gone. Every single one. Except one. A picture of them at a carnival 10 years ago, laughing at something neither of them could remember now. The photo was pinned on her bed, and on it, in sharp, jagged writing, last warning, stop. Her legs nearly gave out. Someone else was involved. Someone who didn't want her to know the truth. Someone far more dangerous than Caleb Archer. The next evening, Miles called, breathless. Get to my office, don't go home, don't talk to anyone, come, now. The urgency in his voice sliced through her fear. When she arrived, he locked the door behind her. He asked to see you, Miles whispered. Who? A figure stepped from the shadows. Caleb Archer. Older, harder, eyes full of exhaustion and regret. Elena nearly collapsed. Owen, Caleb, whatever your real name is, why? Why did you do this to me? Why didn't you trust me enough to tell me anything? His expression cracked just slightly. Elena, I never stopped trusting you. He swallowed hard. But I had to stop loving you. The words shattered her, but before she could respond, he continued. You didn't destroy me. Your betrayal hurt, but it saved us both. She stared at him, stunned. How could I possibly have saved you? You gave them a reason to leave you alone, Caleb said. I was the target. You were only the target's girlfriend, until they thought I didn't care anymore. He stepped closer. If I didn't walk away that night, you would be dead. Elena covered her mouth. The world tilted. And now? She whispered. They're back, he said. The same group. They found your name in old files. They believe you know something. I don't know anything. That doesn't matter. They think you do. Miles opened a new folder of photos of her walking to work, sitting in cafes, checking her mail. Surveillance. recent surveillance. Caleb's voice lowered. I'm going to get you out. Tonight. But when this is over, Elena, I disappear again. For good. The words cut deeper than she expected. As much as she hated it, she understood. This was the closest thing to closure she would ever get. For the next 3 weeks, Elena lived under protection while Caleb and federal agents dismantled the group threatening her. There were tense nights, emergency moves, sudden vanishes, but gradually the danger faded. One morning, Miles arrived with a rare smile. It's done. They've been taken down. You're safe. And just like that, Caleb was gone. No goodbye, no note, no trace. Until 2 months later, when she found a single envelope taped to her door, inside, written in careful handwriting. You didn't break me. You saved me too. Live without fear. See? She pressed the letter to her chest and closed her eyes. For the first time in 10 years, she felt the weight begin to lift, not because he forgave her, but because she finally understood the truth. Some ghosts leave because they have to. Some return because fate demands it, and some disappear so we can finally breathe. If you love emotional mysteries with shocking twists, hit subscribe and watch the next story waiting for you right here.